with a real life situation. So we're going to use a website. So assume that this is your website, and on your website you have lots of things, and then all I want you to do is give two extensions of your website. First is we want you to put a button somewhere called place an order. And the second thing is we want you to put a login button. So you can put about us, you can have home, you can have whatever services you provide. This is just a dummy website, you know. You can have about us, you can have services which you provide, let's say companies, tax planning, or whatever, you know, whatever work you do. You can have blogs or contact us or whatever, you know. But what we need is just two different things. One is this button, which we will give to you, and the login button, which we will give to you. And most likely, as an accountant, you will not have that in your systems. Now, the website is Accountant AI. Uh, you can log in afterwards to play around with it as well. And I have given all the credentials on what credentials you will use to test it. So as an accountant, you can log in as accountant at Accountant AI. The password is mentioned. And if you want to give access to your clients, you can log in with this username and this password. And if you're an auditor, and I'm going to talk about it, you know, when the fund is completed and you want to get it audited by your client, you have to send them emails with a lot of information. So you don't have to do that anymore. All you have to do is tell the auditor that you can log in on my website, and all the documents would be waiting there for you. So I'm going to show you all of that, but let's just assume that this is your website and a client comes in, and then the client looks at your website and he wants to order now. So all I'm doing is clicking that order now button, and this order now button would be actually you will see that my it's a little bit cut here because the size is a little bit bigger, but let me just change it and I'll show you what exactly it'll look like. Maybe then you'll see it a little bit better. I changed it so that you could look at it better, but am I in the right space? Text size, I just have to reduce it to apply here. Would that be right, Akif? Am I doing the right
Yep.
thing? Yeah, okay, so the text size will now become proper. Okay, so I'm back into the site. So you can see that it has become smaller. I wanted to make it bigger so that all of you could see it. So I'll just go back again to the home page. So this is your website. So they will place an order and they will come here. Once they come here, so it's an onboarding tool, and it is to set up a new company or a super fund. And very soon we will be adding for trusts as well. So you know how you have contact us, they can always make an appointment with you at any time. You don't need that button anymore, but the way they will proceed is they will click next, and if they want to set up a super fund, they will click here. Or if they want to set up a company, they will click here. So we are asking them, is it about yourself or about someone else? And for today, we are going to talk about just the self-managed super fund. So they'll click self-managed super fund. They are inquiring about themselves. And then we want to know whether they already have a super fund or whether they want to set up a new super fund. So for our argument, we'll just say that they want to set up a new super fund. And then they click next, but at any time they can stop and they can book an appointment. So that can happen at any time, you know. So let's just close that for the moment and then say, do you have any specific objectives? Then they'll say yes. I have a few things, and depending on what they take, then what we need to do is we need to show them some videos if they're interested in property or if they're interested in crypto. Now, some of you may not be a financial planner, so there is a declaration here that we are not financial planners and we are just taking instructions based on what you are telling us. So you're ordering us to set up a super fund, and these are the terms and conditions of how we will be preparing this document for you, which they have to tick. Now, these terms and conditions can be changed by you. So we'll give you a template, and if you want, you can change it to your requirement. They have to tick this. If they don't tick this, and this tick is recorded, the reason it is recorded is if ASIC comes back or ATO comes back and claims that you have provided advice, you can clearly say to them that, look, this setup was purely on instruction basis and the client has actually signed it off. Now, on the next page, now, when you get a new client, he wants to know about what is self-managed super fund. It takes forever for you to claim whether they will have insurance or not, and they can understand their structure so they can see how it is created. Like you can have a single member fund, a multi-member fund, and there are a lot of videos which have been provided, let's say for crypto or let's say LRBA. So, you can, I don't know, Akif, can you hear this video or you can't?
No, Manoj, we cannot hear the video.
Okay, okay. Well, I'll let you guys to go on it yourself, and then you can play these videos. Now, if you don't like these videos, you can put your own videos, and we can help you to put videos on how you can buy property or wordings. We can help you to make those videos. We recommend that these videos should be, say, not more than 3 minutes or not more than 4 minutes. Otherwise, it could be very boring for your clients. And as you can see, there are quite a few videos there. Okay, so now they will then start, they can either again make a appointment or start entering the information like what is the name of the fund, and then we give them ideas on what super fund name they can have. So once the name is decided, we ask them what is the address, and then everything is, not compulsory. So you can always, the applicant, the browser will never stop if he doesn't want to provide information. He can just give you whatever he needs to provide or he wants to provide to you, and you can always ring him back later on. And it's a very intelligent form. And let's say the next question is, what type of trustee will the fund have? And it says it's a company, and if it's an existing one or not. And then we confirm that this is the way we need it. And then you say that, yes, it is an existing company. And then you say, what is the name of the company? And you say it's not an existing company. It'll ask you how many directors it will have, and so on. So it'll also ask you whether you have a director ID or not. And if it doesn't, it tells you on how to apply for a director's ID. See, all this will take you a lot of time to explain. So assuming that they have director ID, we can move on, and then it says how many members will you have. So let's say you'll have one member, and then it'll ask you for the name of the trustee and the member details. Okay, so it'll ask you what is the name if you want to set up the company, and you can even, we have linked it with ASIC, and so it says the ASIC guideline names is unacceptable for registration. So at the moment that name is available, and I can carry on and collect information about the address of that company. Okay, the next is that we need information about the person. So you can provide that information to that person. Now, if he doesn't provide you a tax file number, it's fine. You can always call them back. we need the place of birth because country of birth, because we're also going to set up a company for them. But let's say some basic information is provided by the client, and what you can do is you can just go next, and then you said, well, the system is quite intelligent, because if you look at section 17A of the SIS Act, if you have any one member, you can also have another director in that company. I've just ticked no. So once everything is ready, I'm happy with the proceeding. I just click next. And this is when we collect the information, which I'm going to do now. So I'm going to provide the information to the accountant, because I'm the browser here, and I enter my email ID, Manoj at trustdeed.com.au, and I move on, trustdeed.com.au. Okay, now this online system can even collect money from the client. But before we do that, we can introduce to the client on how good we are. You can put a video here, or you can have some text or some PDF file. We haven't loaded the PDF file, but you can have a PDF file about us. You can have a product disclosure statement on what is a self-managed super fund. As you can see, we haven't done that, but it is optional. You don't have to have it. So I'm just showing you that there is a provision that if you want, you can have it there. And the next is the engagement letter. See, that sometimes when you get a new client, it becomes a problem on how to get it engaged. So again, we give you a template. You can use your associations template, or you can draft your own. So it's collected some information which was already entered, and the next is we'll present them with an invoice. Now they can pay online to you. If you want to collect online, all you need to do is open account with Stripe. The only issue with online payment is Stripe will charge you 1.8% of whatever fees you have collected. And if you don't want to do that, you can opt out of it, and then you can pay by EFT. So if you pay online, it'll take you to the next page, and then on the delivery page, it will give you the product disclosure statement, a signed engagement letter, and your invoice. So we can choose to pay by EFT, which means that all they have to do is they have to ring you and then get the documents from you. And this is the document, which is the about us, the product disclosure, the engagement letter, which they signed, has already been prepared, and you can see that the signature would be at the bottom. So they're basically ready to go, as a new client. Now, what happens from here on is, I'm just going to close this for a moment, is from here on is that you get an email as an accountant, and then you log in. And remember earlier on, I told you that I have provided the credentials. As you can see, you are the accountant, so the accountant will log in as himself, and you can have as many staff members as well, but we're not going to go into that. The client can be given a portal, and then the auditor. So I'm going to show you all three of them, but let's just log in as an accountant and see that we have received a new order. So I've already saved it up, so I just will log in and have a look. So it's fully authenticated with the 2FA, so it's highly secure. You can get a PIN number from Google, and then make sure that it is fully secure, so nobody can see anything. But for the moment today, we'll just skip it. You can see that the new order has come in, and it is a new self-managed super fund with a corporate trustee. Now I have several staff, so I can assign it to various staff members. I can see the order, what has come in. These are the details, and if I want to edit, because maybe the tax file number is not provided. So I can enter the tax file number here and then save it. And once it is saved, it appears on that page. So once I have all the details, I am happy to proceed. And remember, they have agreed to your terms and conditions, and they have the stamp comes up is that they agree. Right now, we now go back to the dashboard, and we can even download the application. We can look at the invoice which was presented, that it was paid. So we can do all of those things if we want to. So now the next issue is that we have to transfer the data which we have collected to trust deed, and which we will do that very, very soon. Now, what we are also going to add, and we are currently working on, is about the new AML rules that we have to check on money laundering, and whether we have to identify who our clients are. So that button will appear here very soon. So whoever are the members, you can verify their details, and you can send them information that I would like to check your passport, I like to check your driver's license, get the 100 points test, and I also want to do an AML, that is the money laundering requirement, which will be compulsory from 1st of July 2026. So the next thing is that since they have paid you, you want to set up the super fund. With one click, you will send the data to trustdeed.com. There is an open API, so we are assuming that you will have an account on trustdeed.com, and you will see that there is a new order which has come in. So this is a unfinished document, or you can go into the document manager, and if you go into the document manager, there's a new document which will be sitting, which is an unfinished document, the Jack Superfund, which we got an order. And then once we go in there, you will see that all the details of that company which we need to create. Now, just can you imagine the amount of time you have already saved in filling up this form? Okay, now we will send whatever is there. So we highly recommend you to complete this in totality, so that whatever goes to trustee doesn't have to be touched again. But you can verify it, but it doesn't have to be touched again. Okay, now at this point of time, what you can do is you can archive this order and then just let it sit there. But what we have done is, this is an advanced format. You can make this client as a pro client. So what happens with a pro client, for data storage, we need $4.80 per year per client from you. And this is optional. You don't have to do that, but you can make this client as your pro client. As you can see that we already have so many clients as pro clients, and you can do many, many things with the pro client. So let's have a look at what you can do with a pro client. See, when you look at your clients, you will see that you have 10 entries of pro clients. You can see the name of the fund which was created. So let's just go back to the inquiry, and then you can add them as a pro client. So what this does is, this basically will send an email out to the client to become a client. So they will have a request to become a client for your firm and add their username and password. Okay, so I'm making them as default. The reason we are making it default is because in a super fund, as you know, we can have 6 members. So one of them has to be the main member. Okay, so I've added this person as the main client, but in this case, there was a single member fund and a corporate trustee. So you can see this fund has got 2 members with corporate trustee, This fund is individual trustees with 6 members. So you can see what the fund is, the ABN of the fund. It's to be incorporated because we haven't entered it. But if you haven't entered it, you can edit it at any time. So if you click on the edit button, you can keep on adding information like after the company has been set up. And once you have the ABN of the super fund, you can enter that ABN. At the moment, it is to be incorporated. Okay, so we've got the fund up and running. I can then assign it to any one of my staff members, and once I've done that, then I can have queries with the clients. We get some documents. There's some admin documents. The clients will also be able to upload documents for the Superfund audit, and there are some admin documents you can download. And with one click, you can also send it to BGL. So instead of setting it up in BGL, all you do is press that button and it will be there. As far as zero integration is concerned, if you if it is a company, you'll be able to set up that company in Zero. Now, once the fund is ready for audit, all you need to do is send an email to the auditor. All you have to do is click this button and then he will log in. The auditor will log in and get the documents, and I'll show you what the screen looks like. So for the moment, I'm just going to show you what the accountant can do with this portal. Uh, so he can change his details. For example, all his information is there. His logo, when that wizard starts, that logo is here. You can add your photograph. You can add as many staff members as you want, and each staff member, you can give them various kind of controls to each and every staff member. And if your staff member is overseas, because some of the accountants, they have a backup team in Philippines or Sri Lanka or India. So what you can do is that staff member can only log in with that static IP address of that office in India. You can enter that static address, and then you can give them various facilities. So if he's an auditor, all you will say is, yeah, he's an auditor, so he will see only the documents. He will have no other access. And then you save it, and then you can see that I have so many members and auditors already on which I've already hired. So for the moment, I'll just cancel it out of here, and then I go back to the dashboard and I go back into my details, and then I go into settings. Now, when I go into settings, um, you can have on your form, the form which I showed you outside, you can have any type of relationship you want, what the type of clients you want. A lot of accountants will have only company trustees. So it'll force the browser to only choose company trustees, or you can have any. We have left it at any. And the next is that, whether you're a financial planner or not. For us, it was off, but if I turn it to on, then what will happen is when you are writing a statement of advice, it picks up all the questions and everything. So I'll recommend you to log in and then see the outside pages. It'll ask you, are you a smoker? How much insurance you have? How much super you have currently, what do you want to do, things like that. So it'll pick up a lot of data for you so that you can start writing your statement of advice. Now, if you want, you can have an engagement letter online, or you don't, or whether you want to get the clients to pay you online or not. So this you can choose. For us, it was on. Now, remember, in the beginning, I had introduction page, and in the introduction, I said you can upload a video. It's all up to you whether you want to write this text or you don't. or you can type in about us, you can drag and drop, or your product disclosure statement. And remember, there was an engagement letter. What we did was gave you terms and condition. We gave you an engagement letter document, and then if you want, you can change it to your requirement, and we can help you to see it. And then you can preview it also, see how it will look like, before it is actually issued on your website. You can see that this is the way it will look like. Yeah. So going back here, you can set up your payments. Now, when people are ordering super funds from you, you can have your own type of invoice which can come out. This is when they get to see your, this is when you enter your Stripe details, and these are the auto invoices. So there are various types of invoices which you can have on the website. Let's say you are setting up a new company. So what will be your document fee? You can decide that and collect the money online. If you are doing new super fund with individual trustee, what would be your fee? New super fund with a corporate trustee, when the corporate trustee is already in existence, or when you need to create it. So you can have different fees, and then you can have fees for existing super funds if they are adding a member or deleting a member, and I'll show you where this will be useful. Okay, now you can set up your 2FA, and any emails going out or coming in can also go through, when you're sending queries, and I'm going to show you how that works. You can actually enter your SMTP addresses, so that instead of your clients receiving emails from Accu AI, your clients will actually receive emails from you, and you can put it here and set it up. Now, let's just proceed forward, and then let me just go back to my details. We were in settings, and then you can integrate with various websites which we will provide basically for free, or if you have your account with Zero or with BGL, you can enter the details here. So at the moment they are connected, but you could disconnect it. This is where the auditor will come in and then connect his. I'm going to show you once we check the auditor side of things on how the auditor can actually log in. This is for digital signature, and I'm going to show you how that works as well. So let's go back into the clients area. Basically, this is your client list, and with the clients, you can do many things. You know how you send them emails. Instead of sending them emails, what you can do is you can raise a query. Here, you can raise a query as an accountant, either to the client, or you can also raise a query to the auditor, or you can also raise a query. Uh, the auditor can also raise a query with you, and then you can answer the query either to the client, or the client to you, or you to the auditor, and auditor back to you. So you are basically in the middle. So the accountant can raise a query to a client, can raise a query to the auditor. The auditor will only raise query to the accountant. Okay, so you can raise a query, you can answer queries, and once the query has been closed, you can simply move it to the closed queries section. So let's go back to the client's dashboard, and then let's look at the document side of things. Okay, now as far as Superfund documents are concerned, you can upload any type of permanent document on site. So you can select which document it is, and then you can upload it. And after uploading it, they will all be listed here. And you can also, this is the current financial year. You can always change the financial year when 30th of June comes. And once the year is here, you can upload the financial year documents, which that means is you can put in whatever documents you can think of, or you can even choose other. And if you choose other, you can just click here, and I'll just uh, click something here. So let's say I'll just go to the desktop and see if I have some document there, and then you can see this is a 7.7 megabyte. It's quite a large document. I have uploaded it, and once it is uploaded, it displays here, and I can always change the document from other to anything else, or I can also change the description. This is a property document. Okay, so once I change it, it stays there. Now you can download the document, and if you are thinking of looking at that document, it's here it is. Like I said, it's quite a detailed big document because maybe it has a lot of photos. So let's say you are searching for some document. So let's just close this document and then go back here. If you're looking for something in that document, like you're searching for any item, you can just look for that item. So I just searched for Volt. So let's say if you're looking for dividend from BHP, obviously it's not there, but you can see that we have OCR installed, which is optical character recognition. So if you upload 200 documents, so it will search over 200 documents and find out the exact dividend dollar value. So your clients can upload thousands of documents on the website. We just charge $4.80 per client per year, so per super fund per year. So see, it's collected. You can see that Vault is at many different places. So you can look for anything in there. So you can go into any year. You can go into previous years, and your clients can also upload documents. And I'm going to show you that as well. So let's just go back into documents and look at the admin documents. Now, if the client is looking to, he hasn't got the audit engagement letter, so all he has to do is either download, or he can simply, you can, as an accountant, send it to the client, which he has to digitally sign. So I've just creating that document. It will just take you to the link just sign page, and then you will create that document. So we can try that at a later date if you want. So I'm just going back to the dashboard for my clients. Okay, once all the documents are sitting here, I'll send an email to the auditor that, look, well, I haven't assigned the auditor, so I have to assign the auditor first. So I can assign the auditor. Once the auditor is assigned, I can send an email out to the auditor that the fund is now ready for audit. Okay, so let me just log out of here, and let's look at what the client will see. And for this client, we have the credentials here, Manoj at UC Services, client at 123. So I'm going to enter here, Manoj at UC Services. So this is your client, basically, services.com.au, and client at the rate of 123. Okay, this is what they see. They see the name of the fund. They are in that fund. They can send queries, or they can answer queries like we discussed. And they can upload. They can raise a new query. They can raise a query to the accountant. So you select the name, and then they can type in whatever or upload anything, and then alert email will message, and they can submit it to the submit it back to the accountant, or if they receive a query, then they can simply answer the query. So they'll see whether they have any queries which have come, and whether they need, or whether you have raised a query. You can see all those templates, and then they can upload any documents. Now, if you're an accountant, you know the biggest problem you always have is getting documents from the client. So this is where we have made it really very easy for you, where you can see that the clients, they're sending you emails, and let's say if you have 100 clients, you're getting 100 emails, and then you're saving it somewhere, and then for some funds you're doing 25, and some funds you're doing 24, and it's a total mess out there, together. But here they are sending you documents for the current year as the year progresses. So we are not like asking them to send the documents on year-end basis. They can send you documents during the year, as long as you ask them to do that. Okay. Now, with these documents, just to tell you that it becomes quite difficult, because there could be quite a few documents. So you can add your notes, you can say bank statement or something, so that it's a little bit easier for you to ensure that you're keeping a good record. And if you're looking for any items, so let's say we were looking for Volt. So now we have 2 documents. Let me just, let's say, upload 20 documents, for example. And then you will see that if I'm looking for one particular item, so let's say there's a budget. This could be very long documents. Okay, so let's just look at this and close, and then, okay, we've got another document which I have uploaded. So if I'm looking for a very, let's say a dividend item, for example, then all I have to do is put that figure there, and then try and search that document within that document. So what I was trying to say is that if you are auditing, or if your staff is accounting, then searching any item can become really easy for you. Okay, so they have the functionality, and also at the last you will see that an accountant can send documents digitally. So I have to, if you are interested in something like this, I have to show you how it works. The accountant will raise a tax return and send it through the system. So instead of sending the document via an email or via a phone, the client will get a message that the document is ready for signing. On this page, they will log in, and then they will click here. And once they click there, you will see that the signed documents would be separately tabled in a separate section. And that separate section, we can always move them to the financial year later on. So moving the document from here to permanent documents, or here, or any one of these years, is very easy. Now, the beauty about having a pro client is that not only they can upload the documents for you, but tomorrow, let's say they want to add a member. So they can just log in here and into their system on your website, and the similar kind of form will start. So, you can add the video if you want, what is a member, how many members will join. So because in this fund, we already have 2 members, so maximum 6 are allowed. So it's allowing for 4 more members. So you can say, okay, I want to add 2 more members. So he'll start collecting information. And the best part is that you can also collect money on whatever. Remember, I showed you that there are some pre-defined invoices. So at the end, they will see the invoice and then they will pay you online. So they can change trustees from individual to corporate. It's a very smart system. So it understands that it is got individual trustees, and now you want to change it to corporate, or if you already have corporate, then it'll ask you. So, this is individual to corporate because it knows that you have individual trustees and you want to change it. It'll ask you for the name of the company, ACN if there is. If they leave it blind, then we know that it is a new company which is being created. If they want to commence pension or borrowing, so we'll collect all the data for borrowing, or if they want to do a binding death nomination. So this is what the accounts this is what the client side looks like. So let's just log out of here and look at the auditor side of it. And if you remember, I have given you some credentials for the auditor. The auditor's email and password is here. And let me just log in and have a look. So it's Manoj at Trusted, and it's auditor at the rate of 123. Okay. Again, we have 2FA installed. You can make it compulsory, it's up to you. So basically, for the auditor, it's a query system or all the documents which he can download. So if he's looking or anything, or he can send it to online SMSF audit, or he can send it to BGL and he can download it from BGL, or if he's using online SMSF audit, he can basically export it there. With one click, it will go to his online SMSF or audit account. And if the fund is not if the fund is not standing there, if it's not there, he will then add the fund. Like we just allocated Jack Super Fund, which we created today there. So if he clicks this button in his account, then this new fund will be sitting there waiting for documents to arrive. And as far as documents are concerned, we just have to click this button, and then all the documents which are here will be taken up there. Now, as far as the query system is concerned, received queries, answer queries, or raised queries, so it will tell you that we have an answered query here, and orange color, we have received a query, and we have raised a query which we need an answer for. So we can say that this query has to be raised, and then you enter the query, and you're sending a query to the accountant or to the staff member of that accountant. So if there were multiple staff which were allocated to this fund, you can send the query directly to them. Okay, so it becomes a tool for your auditor to basically log into your website and get all the data from them. Now, integration is very simple. They can integrate to their account if they have it, or to their online account with OSA. So depending on how many auditors you use, each one of them can be allocated separately, and they can have their own online SMSF audit account. And they can basically get all the data here instead of you emailing it to them. And all you need to do is send them one email that the fund is now ready for audit. Okay, now Akif, this is just a basic rundown. If anybody is thinking of installing this, I highly recommend them to have one-on-one webinar with our sales team, or with our member. If they want to play around here, they can have a look. The best part is that it's complimentary. The software is absolutely complimentary, but because we need to just need to log out of here. Yeah, just if you go into the plans, the small plan, it's free for everyone, as you can see. We give you some pro clients also for free. So if you buy a voucher system, let's say if you have 50 vouchers, we will give you about 50 pro clients for free. 1800 divided by 24, but each pro client otherwise will cost $24. So if you buy 100 vouchers, 75 or say 100 vouchers, you will get 100 pro clients for free every year. Unfortunately, there is a setup fee. But if you're buying a small package, then you will see that the setup fee is still there, but only 100 vouchers will give you 100 pro clients. But this is important to get pro clients. The benefit of the pro client is that they will be able to upload the documents for you, download, send you queries and things like that. But literally, we think that we have more or less given it to you for free. The setup is very important because, I showed you the login page, about us, the making the invoices. You'll need a lot of hand holding from us, and we think that it'll be at least 20 hours of work from our side, which has to be billed separately. So we were charging back then $1,500, but we want everyone to use this system, um, and we've just put it at $900 plus GST. But remember one thing, that if you have this order now button, then you will get new clients. You can even advertise on Google if you like, and I can show you a couple of websites. I can't show you too many, but I can show you a couple who have done this, who have this button on their website. But remember one thing, that if you don't have this, let me just Google